All right, lighting the fuse on another explosive hour here of the Steve Gruber Show. Glad to have you on board for the conversation, my friends. Remember, this is a trigger warning. You could have great enthusiasm about America and optimism for the future after listening to this program. You've been warned. Good morning, welcome to it. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, a Michigan lawmaker wants to reroute court funds to prosecutors after a Supreme Court ruling here in the state that says 19 and 20-year-old first-degree murderers can get away from automatic life without parole sentences. I don't know how that's even possible. Meanwhile, number two is that Whitmer photo of her hiding in the Oval Office, a nail in the coffin of her political aspirations, kind of. I mean, it's just a ridiculously embarrassing look. And number three, ranked choice voting. Tossed out in some states, a terrible scheme put together by leftists. But over at Rank Michigan Vote, they're busy rallying the troops to get a constitutional amendment on the ballot. They want ranked choice voting on the ballot in 2026. Yeah, it's true. They want ranked choice voting on the ballot in 2026. Look, according to Rank Michigan Vote, RCV ensures that candidates with the best ideas, not the biggest bank accounts, have a fair shot winning. It's crap. It's a way that candidates that could never win an election get appointed, basically. Pat Zabawa said, in a time of rising turmoil and uncertainty, it's very clear our current system is wholly incapable of addressing the issues that matter most to voters. Wrong. The election system has worked just fine for 250 years. RCV is an election system where voters rank candidates in order of preference, first, second, third, and so on. If a candidate gets a majority, over 50% of first-choice voters, they win, just like in a normal election. But if no one gets a majority, the candidate with the fewest first-choice votes is eliminated. Those who voted for the eliminated candidate have their votes go to their next choice, and the process repeats until someone has a majority. It's pushing to bring ranked choice voting to Michigan's federal elections, as well as races for governor, attorney general, secretary of state, the state legislature. They also want to give local governments the freedom to opt in. There are 5 cities that have already done this, but haven't been able to implement them due to restrictions in the state constitution: Ann Arbor, East Lansing, Ferndale, Kalamazoo, and Royal Oak, according to Bridge, Michigan. The group hopes to submit proposed language for the amendment and get it to the Board of State Canvassers at the end of this month and hopefully start collecting signatures around Memorial Day weekend. Do not vote, do not support, do not sign these documents. Do not sign, do not be one of the 446,000 signatures they need. Ranked choice voting is only happening in 3 states. Alaska uses ranked choice voting on federal and state general elections, Hawaii for special congressional elections, and Maine for federal elections, state general elections, and presidential primaries. Anyhow, more than a dozen states have banned it completely as of March of 2025. There's a group against ranked choice voting called Stop RCV. They say that it benefits those candidates who have more time and access to information and gives more power to the elites while making it harder for everyone else to compete. They add that it also encourages fringe candidates and radical splinter parties. And the RCV is slow, relies on technology that many voters don't trust, like me, like computer systems. In their upcoming Zoom meeting for Ranked Michigan Vote, they promise insights on everything from canvassing to coalition building to collecting the needed signatures. Do not sign the petition. Do not support this perversion of voting. Do not. Alaska tried to get rid of it, and they will get rid of it next time around. You watch. Alaska will dump this mess. There's a reason a dozen states have banned it. It allows for candidates that would never get elected to get elected. That's how Alaska ended up with a Democrat in Congress, even though the Democrat never got more than 50% of the vote. because there were 2 Republicans on the ballot. And therefore, a Democrat won an election or was awarded a seat. I shouldn't say won an election, was awarded a seat. Anyhow, this picture of Governor Whitmer, speaking of losing ideas, the type of disastrous public relations weekend Whitmer wishes that could go away, cover up and hide. But that's what Whitmer got, the wrong kind of spotlight after a Wednesday meeting with President Trump in the White House. She thought she was going to have a private meeting, but was whisked into the background behind Trump during a press conference while the president was signing an executive order, according to the New York Times. Apparently, Whitmer didn't want any evidence of her standing behind Trump and used blue folders to cover her face. Then the New York Times published the photograph. Backlash severe, even from far-left pundits. Here's what Newsweek said. It's rare. No, this is what Keith Olbermann said from his mental health room. It's rare when you get a shot of the exact moment a politician's career ends, but there you go. Was this the nail in the coffin of Gretchen Whitmer's political aspirations? Daily Wire also weighed in. Gretchen Whitmer hiding behind her files in the White House is one of the funniest things I've seen. This is what my 2-year-old does. This is so much worse than if she let her photo be taken, said the press secretary for Josh Hawley. Where's Whitmer? Let's play peekaboo. Yeah, it was bad. A short video on her page over the weekend. Here's something else. People are always asking me, Jennifer, how do you fix a window? How the hell should I know? And my name's not Jennifer, I'm Gretchen. And I can tell you how we're fixing the damn roads. I mean, it was just one horrendously bad weekend for Gretchen Whitmer. I'm sorry to hear that. Her plans of being president, well, probably not that great at this point. I'm just going to say probably not that great at this point. Her aspirations really are. You know, Keith Olbermann isn't right about anything, but he might have gotten close on this one. He just needs his medication as soon as possible. At any rate, this part of the program brought to you by my good friends at WolverineWaterSystems.com. Wolverine Water, Michigan's purest, best water systems for almost 75 years. That's right. If you're in Michigan, we have a special offer for you. Get to WolverineWaterSystems.com, find out what it is, right? You can find out more about the Pure Health reverse osmosis system, the alkaline system. You can find out about all the great drinking water opportunities. That's right. WolverineWaterSystems.com for Michigan's best drinking water. And you can find out what the specials are today. I love my friends at Wolverine Water. Been my friend since long before I did this program. All right, we'll take a break and be back with more after this.